Hello parts, welcome to another how to build video. This time we're going to talk about the Zealots after having tested a bunch of options in the VXP Weekend Targets. There were two targets. I focused primarily on the 101, but I did a few tests on the 107 as well. So again, a quick overview. The Zealot, it's a T9 assault class ship loaded with scatterguns. It's different from things we've seen in the past because it has a big penalty in weapons range. And it has no defense stats. It has no survival, no evade, no defense stats at all as a naked ship. You need 20 armor in the whole fleet. So keep in mind when you're stacking up those limited armors from FM, they're expensive. And you only need 20 in total. So 10 of each or maybe 15 of each if you plan on doing 3 and 1 either way. You also only have 8 slots for weapons per ship, so 40 if you're counting the limited scatterguns you're getting. But some of those will be, at least 4 will be countermeasures, 5. Meaning you only need 35 weapons in total if you're stacking up on those limited weapons. Then there's a bit of an aura, and that's it. Upgrades will be very important, again, because especially upgrade level 2, adds 20% evade, and I've learned during the VXP weekend that evade is important. And then upgrade 3, which likely we won't get done by the first raid, but more likely for the second one, gives you extra corrosive and penetrative survival and extra multi-shot, making your ships a lot more deadly and sturdy. Weapon choices, we have the regular penitent scattergun, and then you have the limited absolver scattergun, which is about 20% more powerful than the regular weapon. So use as many limiteds as you can get, and if you cannot get them all, then you fill up the remaining slots with the regular blueprint. That's the plan. Armor choices, we have the ZCO2 and ZM2. They give you good survival. They also give you a 2% corrosive damage bonus, which makes a big difference in your power output. If you cannot get them in FM because they're too expensive for you and you don't have the time to grind FM targets, ZM1, ZCO1, which are also limited but have been around for a long time, should help you with that. Engine options, we have the super duper crazy expensive Sacred Artifact engine. In Forsaken Mission, you can get 2 per week and they cost 45,000 points. It's nuts, I know. The big thing is they give you 3200 corrosive and penetrative survival, and we will need that. So if you can get them, go ahead. If not, the better replacements would be the sync drives. And corrosive sync drives, maybe for all ships, but certainly for ships 2, 3, 4. And penetrative sync drives on ships 1 and 5, because these two are being pounded by those Halo-like missile turrets, and you need more penetrative deflection on those. New special, it's the Twin Fang Feeder, very important. The extra 88% damage, it's huge. If you cannot get it because it's limited, there's another limited option, the Scatter System 2. It has the same bonuses, just a bit weaker. Full Focus Choke, another important special, 66% corrosive damage, splash and lower spread. It's not limited. So once you get the blueprint once, you're going to be able to equip that on all ships. The alternative is the Narrow Firing Aperture, is an old special. And it's actually even better on the splash, but lower on the damage bonus. So with everything we discussed so far, this is the partial build. This is the thing you should be building 4 of these for the first raid. At least 6 scatterguns, and not shown in the picture, at least 1 countermeasure per ship. Then the 4 specials. The engine, either the Sacred Artifact or the Sync Drive. Twin Fang Feeder for more damage. Full Focus Choke for more damage. The armors for survival and more damage, and the corrosive battery for more damage. If you don't have enough corrosive batteries, for now, you could use the assault battery as an alternative. So for the last 2 special slots, one of them, guess what? More damage. There's the high volatile cartridges or the lower corrosive mount 2. I tested both, and overall, I think the high volatility cartridges is the best option. I'll tell you why. In the 101 target, the speed penalty from the lower corrosive mount didn't matter as much. So actually it did better than the HVC, because you get all this big corrosive survival, 6800, and you get good corrosive damage, right? And some building damage. So being a bit slower, the minus 20% combat speed and minus 120% turn speed didn't matter much in the 101. In the 107, it made a big difference. Those orange circles that move around following the ships and try to target you, you need to be nimble to drive around them and get to those Valkyrie ships and kill them. And the lower corrosive mount was detrimental to that. So if we see that in raid, and I suppose we will, I'm opting for the HVC. It's better building damage, almost the same corrosive damage. You just don't get the survival bonuses. But that outpaces the loss of speed that you would have. So going with this guy. The other thing I learned from the VXP target is that evade is very important, especially against the missiles. You can see here, when I did one of the targets with the setup at the bottom here, one empty slot, and I was trying to decide what to put in there, I took 13% penetrative damage, resisted 28, and evaded only 12%. That resulted in 7 hours, 5-minute repair time. And you see primarily the ship in slot number 1, and currently 4, but that would be 5 when you have a full fleet, got destroyed by the missiles. The ships in the middle, not so much. So then by adding either Agility System 4 or Guidance Scrambler 3 to the ships in slots 1 and 4, I improved the repair time from 7 hours 5 minutes to 5 hours 9 minutes. This was the single biggest improvement of all the tweaks and things that I tried during VXP weekend. And you can see now we were able to evade 30% of the penetrative damage, and that's having 56% evade. Again, if you can get some of your ships to upgrade 2, where you gain another 20% evade, focus on the ships that will be in slots 1 and 5. Get the ship in slot number 5 specially to upgrade 2. Instead of trying to do all of them upgrade 1, focus on this one. Do you 1, do you 2. If you can get this one ship done prior to raid, and with Guidance Scrambler or Agility 4, it should help you a lot. Can't stress this enough. A few other things I looked at. Splash damage reduction. I did not see a difference, nothing material. And I tried with DDS. I did not test Hyper 30. And maybe Hyper 30 would have helped because of the extra speed, but at least DDS didn't make a difference. And then I was tempted by lower penetrative mount because it has this 15,000 survival and evade, and that should have helped. But you gotta give up on a lot of damage because you gotta remove some of the specials that are giving you a lot of corrosive damage. And you're also losing speed. There's a 25% negative combat speed change. So in the end, wasn't worth it, despite this number being very, very tempting. And I'm gonna say, maybe if you're going to auto, it might be worth it. Not for me. It's just like lower corrosive mount. For people who are going to auto their battles, it's a good choice. If you're going to control your ships and move them around and keep moving, HVC is the best choice. So for people who like it simple, build number 1, 5 identical ships. I'm using either Agility System or Guidance Scrambler here on the last slot. 1 countermeasure per ship. There's a mix here of limited and unlimited scatterguns, and a balanced 2 and 2 on the armor. So that's it, and the code for build 1 is in the video description. People who like to personalize things and control them a little bit better, here's a build for ships 1 and 5. 1 is the upcoming flagship we haven't seen yet, and that might change the builds furthermore. But for now, that flagship and the one ship in slot number 5 could use 3 penetrative armors, 1 corrosive armor, and they need high evade, and they should be the first ones upgraded to U2. Ships in slots 2, 3, and 4 don't need the high evade as much, and they need more corrosive survival, so 2 and 2 on the armor. If you're going with sync drives, corrosive sync drives on these guys, and countermeasure loader. So another option is to go with 2 countermeasures on one ship, and then the other ones you wouldn't need that. But so that's the build. If you want to keep alternating, switching the ships in slot number 5, maybe you get 1 or 2 of these with evade, so you can keep docking and swapping them, the position, and you're gonna have more evade ships to put in slot number 5. But at least 1 or 2 of them should have countermeasure loaders. It helps with the reload of the scattergun, so more damage, and better countermeasure effectiveness. Code for build number 3, it's also in the video description, along with 1 and 2. Thanks for watching, as usual. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the buzzer for notifications when new videos come out. And I have a video here with the breakdown of the VXP target. It's a 5-minute long video to help you understand how to prepare for raid, what to look out during raid. Take care, see you next time, pirates.